Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie, and you are watching another episode of Punk Shui. This is a show that I talk about music that has the aggressive energy, the fun of punk rock, but it also mixes it with great melodic hooks. It's not pop punk, it's not punk pop, it's Punk Shui. And we are going to talk about a British band by the name of the Adicts. Now, if you're familiar with the band's regular logo, you're going to get a little spooked because you might think like, oh, he's going to beat me up. The Adicts are fun. You know, it's not super silly or anything like that. It's just great tunes influenced by everything from, 50s, 60s rock and roll to glam. And then, of course, all the classic bands. One of their biggest influences was, of course, the Ramones, and sometimes you can hear that in their music. Now, let's start talking about their albums. Everything I'm going to show you is, of course, on CD, but it was originally released on vinyl. Some of the stuff may have been reissued on vinyl. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that you can find something in the wild. Now, the best known lineup is Monkey on vocals, real name Keith Warren. You've got Pete D on guitar and vocals, real name Pete Davison. Kid D on drums, real name Michael Davison. And then Spider on bass, real name Mel Ellis. Now, the thing about them is they dress like the Droogs from Clockwork Orange, but Monkey, the vocalist, he always has his face painted like a Joker. Joker in the Pack is one of their songs. And that's the image that's always on their shirts. 1979, they released their first EP called Lunch with the Addicts. And it wasn't until 1981 that they put out their first album, which is called Songs of Praise. This is kind of hard to get on CD nowadays. Now, before I tell you the next three titles, I want to bring this to your attention because this contains those next three titles. It's called the albums 82 to 87. It has these three albums, plus a rarities disc, plus a Live and Loud. And that's available on Captain Oi Cherry Red. Now, here are those albums individually. The Sound of Music came out in 1982. Now, the Lunch with the Addicts and the Songs of Praise were pretty straightforward punk with great energy, great hooks, and very, very fun. But by The Sound of Music, they started bringing in other sounds. And I love when a band does that. We're not going to play the same thing over and over again. We're going to stick to that, but we're going to bring in some other elements. Like what they've done over their career is they've had a fiddle player or a violin player, and they've had a lot of other instrumentation, and they've tackled other styles of music, not just punk. I mean, some songs might have a little bit of psychedelia in there, or some may be edgier, some may be more pop-oriented. It's just a really wonderful, wonderful, diverse band. The next album was called Smart Alex, and that came out in 1985. Now, Fifth Overture came out in 1986. This is when they really started to have sort of a pop element, because by this time, sort of the punk scene had died in the UK, or it had gone back underground, let's put it that way. I mean, there's so many different elements into their sound that it was such an easy transition for them to go a little bit more commercial. Again, I love it because it sounds like nobody else except the Addicts. But unfortunately, that was it for a while. It wasn't until 1992, 6 years later, that the band returned with 27. And this is sort of going back to the edgier punk sound, which makes sense because when a band comes back after a long break, the audience are anticipating them to go back to their original sound. But still, great songs, and I cannot say enough about how great, melodic, and fun this band is. Then it took another 10 years before they put out Rise and Shine. And this came out in 2002, and this is stellar. Oh my gosh, this is them trying so much stuff. It's kind of like, I don't want to make comparisons, but it's kind of like their White Album or whatever, because there's, one song goes in this direction, another song goes in this direction. There was a lot of songs on this album. They made up for lost time, and plenty of hooks, plenty of great inventive songs. If you thought the Addicts were just 1, 2, 3, 4, go, then you are sorely mistaken. Now, I would call their sound by this time pure punk for now people. It's just great melodic punk. And then they put out the album Roller Coaster. That came out in 2004. And that, again, is touching on a bunch of different styles without straying too far from the Addicts sound. In 2008, they put out the album Songs of Praise, 25th anniversary. And what they'd done is they'd gone back and they re-recorded the album. And some of it sounds better. 2009, they put out the album called Life Goes On, and that looks scary. Ooh, spooky. But no, it's just great, more fun, just energetic. Oh, I can say the same things over and over again about the Addicts, because even after all these years, they're still popping out great songs. Then the next album comes out, and it's called All the Young Droogs, because remember, that's the name of those characters from A Clockwork Orange, the Droogs. And that's what they all dress like, with the bowler hats. And of course, Monkey, another killer album. I find that the interesting thing is, as I show you the 2017 album called And It Was So, is that their merch sells tremendously. And I think that's great because there's still an audience for this great stuff. And you're probably thinking like, well, all their albums can't be good. Yeah, they can. But that's it with their albums. It's been 9 years now since the Addicts put out an album, but they're still very active. They're still out there touring and playing loads of gigs. I just seem to be a little bit too old to go. I did actually meet Pete D 15 years ago or something at a Vibrator show in Huntington Beach. And then I met him again. And I met Monkey at an Addict show, like another 5 years later or something. And I'll tell you, I listen to them all the time. And these guys were so cool and humble. There's a lot of reissues and variations on these albums, and there's a lot of compilations out there as well. One single disc one that I like is the Complete Singles Collection. Now, I put together a medley for you. I tried to keep this medley short because I try to keep my episodes short, because usually they go on for way too long. So why don't you sit back, relax, give this a listen, and I will see you on the other side.
Money, money, got that pretty tune, baby, money, pretty much I have it there. That's the way we play. Put it on a boring night, Saturday night, I'm gonna play Sunday night, right? 7,000 in this way. Viva la revolution. Viva la revolution. Ay, 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 oh. Ay, 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 oh. Ay, 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 oh. Hey, hey, I wanna try and take away. Hey, hey, woo, woo, woo. Hey, hey, I wanna try and take away. Hey, hey, woo, woo, woo. I'm the Joker in the pack. My baby coming over, wow, wow, fast over. My baby coming over, wow, wow, fast over. Got to go to Tokyo. Got to go to Tokyo. I've seen it before. It's all about war, and then I spill my popcorn on the floor. It's all about sex and special effects. I got my money's worth tonight. All the lucky people, all the lucky people, all the lucky people, all the lucky people. You naughty, naughty girl. You naughty, naughty girl. You naughty, naughty. Cheese tomato flan, crazy little man. Quiche rain, he's insane. Cheese tomato man. Cheese tomato flan, crazy little man. Quiche rain, he's insane. Cheese tomato man. Out of May White House. She doesn't I wanna get off. Stop the world, I wanna get off. With you, with you, with you, with you, with you. Cause we're going to me, oh yeah. Cause we're going to me. I took tricks to get my kick. To pass the time away, yeah, yeah. It's like you will be the death of me. You will be the death of me. Be the death of me.
Well, I hope this inspires you to check out the music by the Addicts. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this episode. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Punky.